The Hisense U7SG looks like the kind of mid-range TV that could embarrass models costing considerably more because it combines mini LED local dimming, up to 3000 nits of claimed peak brightness, and a native 165Hz refresh rate in one aggressive package. But there is a surprising weakness hidden behind that 165Hz number, and it is something fast motion viewers should understand before buying. Picture quality is where the U7SG immediately makes its strongest case, because the mini LED backlight produces deep blacks while keeping bright highlights extremely intense. Nighttime movies gain convincing depth, HDR reflections and explosions stand out dramatically, and there is very little of the obvious haloing around bright objects that can make cheaper local dimming TVs look distracting. Brightness is equally impressive, especially if your television sits in a living room where windows and lamps are difficult to control. Hisense combines that light output with a matte anti-reflective screen, allowing the picture to remain vibrant during the day instead of becoming washed out whenever sunlight enters the room. Color performance is another reason the U7SG feels more expensive than its positioning suggests, with bright, saturated HDR colors that work particularly well for movies, games, sports, and visually rich streaming content. Google TV also gives you a familiar selection of apps and streaming services, while Dolby Vision, HDR10+, IMAX Enhanced, and Filmmaker Mode make the television flexible across different types of content. Before deciding, check the current price through the link in the description, because the U7SG becomes especially compelling when discounts keep a meaningful gap between it and Hisense's flagship alternatives. Gaming specifications are unusually strong for this class. You get HDMI 2.1 bandwidth across all 4 HDMI inputs, VRR, FreeSync Premium Pro, very low input lag, and support for up to 4K at 165Hz, which makes the U7SG suitable for PS5, Xbox Series X, and high refresh rate PC gaming without constantly moving cables between ports. Now we get to the weakness I mentioned at the beginning. Despite the impressive 165Hz capability, pixel response is not as fast as the refresh rate number might suggest, so rapid movement can show more blur than you would expect from a television marketed so heavily around speed. Viewing angles are also fairly narrow, making the U7SG less ideal if several people regularly watch from far off center. Those limitations matter, but they do not erase what Hisense gets right. You are getting excellent contrast, powerful HDR brightness, very effective reflection handling, extensive gaming support, and strong smart features in a television that sits below the flagship tier. If you want a mini LED TV that can handle bright rooms, cinematic HDR, and modern gaming without paying premium flagship prices, I would confidently recommend the Hisense U7SG. I would only look elsewhere if wide viewing angles or the cleanest possible fast motion performance are major priorities for you. Otherwise, this is a very strong buy in the 2026 mid-range market. If you would like to check today's price, availability, or read buyer reviews, you will find the link in the description below.